Caregivers and Community Connection. I'm Sharon Kelly, of course, and I'm your host every Saturday and Sunday morning on Comcast Channel 96. And in the studio with me today, I have none other than my friend, Miss Christin McWhorter. How you doing, Christin?
I'm doing well, Sharon. How are you?
I'm great. Good. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
But you know what? We got some exciting news to tell the community, and that's what this show is all about, is caregiving and community connection.
Yes.
And it's something that you and I do every year, and it's called the Pearl White Gala.
Yes.
And just tell them a little something about you, and to let people know why you're a part of the Pearl White Gala.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I am the Family Caregiver Support Program Coordinator with the Southeast Tennessee Area Agency on Aging and Disability. I have been there for going on 7 years now. And the Area Agency on Aging and Disability has lots of programs that deal with seniors, with the biggest goal of helping them maintain their independence at home. So we do things, Meals on Wheels, a lot of people are familiar with.
Yes.
The Family Caregiver Program, where we support caregivers. We do homemaker services, respite. We fund some senior centers. So we do a lot of things in the community, again, like I said, with the goal of helping seniors maintain their independence at home.
Now, with the Area Office on Aging, isn't that the one-stop shop to find out about senior services in our community?
It is. We like to say we don't have all the resources and know all the answers, but we definitely want to be that gateway. We want any individual who is senior or aging or caring for someone to be able to call into our office and find out about any help or assistance that's out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we really get in depth about the Pearl White Gala, can you tell the community how to reach you? Do you know the number right off that maybe they can jot it down and call you later, especially if they need some of those services that you were just talking about?
Absolutely. Our number is 1-866-836-6678. Again, that's 1-866-836-6678. A lot of sixes.
It's a lot of sixes.
It is.
But you know what? One unique thing about that number is that you won't get a recording. Is that not correct?
That is correct. We've worked really hard across the country and especially here locally in Tennessee to be able to answer the phone so that you don't have to go through the automated system or get go press 1, press 2. So you will get a live person unless it's just an influx of calls. On a very rare situation, you will get a live person on the phone.
And say, for example, if they did so happen get a recording, how long would it be before someone would call them back, or what type of question would they receive on that voice message to let them know what to do next?
They would leave a message, is what the recording would say, and they would get a call back that day or no later than the very next day.
We try to make that, I guess, senior oriented, when you say.
Absolutely.
So
because we know it's frustrating, and we don't want, the last thing that most people need when they call us is they need help, and we want to make that process as easy as possible.
Well, I really like that part of the Area Office on Aging and Disability, what they're trying to do for our seniors. That's important, because a lot of people don't really know that. When they hear 1-866, they just turn off and think it's one of them 1-800 numbers, but it will be someone on the other end of the phone.
Yes, and that rings directly into the Chattanooga office. We serve 10 counties in Southeast Tennessee, so we get that toll-free number so that no one has to call long distance to get into our office. But that 866 number rings to the Chattanooga office, and they will get local people who can help them.
Say if you were living in another state, is it still the same number?
Now in Tennessee, that number's the same.
That's what
It's
I'm
very
saying.
unique. Yes, in Tennessee, you can, in any part of Tennessee, you can dial that number and it will direct you straight to that office that would help you in your area.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
think that's really neat to be able to have that service. And tell us a little something before we get started about family caregivers. the area that you actually work in.
Absolutely. It really has been an honor and a blessing to work with family caregivers. There are a lot of people in the community that are caring for their loved ones in the home. And they're doing it a lot of times on their own with very little support. And so what I found beneficial is when they call in to me. Sometimes they may need help with services. Sometimes they just may need some information. Sometimes they just want a support group to go to meet other caregivers. But whatever it is they need, we try to link them up and get them that support that they so much need.
With the family caregiver support services that's provided under the area that you oversee on a daily basis, it's federally funded, correct?
It is. It's funded under the Older Americans Act that was reauthorized in 2000, and that at that time was recognizing the need of an increasing number of people who are becoming caregivers, of loved ones over 60.
So they saw the need of a burnout caregiver, I guess.
They did at that time. So it's federal dollars that are there to help caregivers.
Is it a waiting list right now for those dollars?
It is, Sharon. You know, there are so many people who are caring for their loved ones. And so I always urge people to contact their legislators, let them know, these are great services that we recognized in 2000, but we need more funding.
And one of the things that I guess I would say, not making this a political announcement, but always saying that we need to stay in touch with our legislators, our congressmen, about the different services and the different things that we need for our seniors in our community, because a lot of time their voices are not heard anymore because they're not paying taxes like you hear everybody talk about. So, I guess one of the things that you want to encourage them to do, to let them know that those dollars do come from a federal level in your program, but a lot of programs from our state. And while we're asking people different questions who are thinking about running for office,
Yes.
they need to be asked some of these questions right now, like caregivers, your caregivers program.
Yes.
It has a waiting list, but there's some other programs now that is available, such as the Choices program. From my understanding, as of July the 1st, it was some slots that became available. Is that not correct?
That is correct. And Choices is the long-term care Medicaid program in Tennessee. We call it Choices. And that program does have slots available. And so those are some state dollars that are there for people who need them and need those services as well.
When I was in on a meeting, they said that we only had 300 people on the waiting list across the state. But I think they were giving up at about 1,100 slots. So for anybody who have been told that they were on a waiting list for the Choices program, I would just encourage them to call their case manager back up and inquire about
Yes.
their spot.
Yes, I would, because like you said, July 1 became a new fiscal year, and so they need to, if they have not heard from their case manager, they should call to see where they are and is their application being pushed forward.
And it's also some new guidelines that will put you in different categories where maybe where you didn't qualify before, possibly you could qualify now under the, I guess it's the third class, or what is it? It's got 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, there's 3 classes of them, and I'm not totally the expert on it, but there are 3 classes, and they may qualify at a different level. So if someone's been denied, they also want to ask to be recertified or rescreened. Don't stop there, because health changes for our aging population daily. So their situation could change, and they need to reapply if they feel like they may be eligible now.
Well, I really wanted to cover that, especially on Caregivers and Community Connection this morning. But that brings us to what we're here to talk about. That's the 7th Annual Pearl White Gala that's
Yes.
coming up September the 8th.
Yes. And that is a great segue, because we've talked about these programs, we've talked about the wait list, and there's such a big need in the community, and that's what the Pearl White Gala is steps in and fills the gap for. It's there to be a fundraiser, to be able to help those families who maybe don't qualify for those other programs, or who are on wait list and need the help now.
And that's what we find to be such a major problem. a lot of times what you have is people get discharged from the hospital. Family members need to go back to work. They have no other place to put their loved ones but in a nursing home facility. And sometimes maybe that's not where they want to go, but they would qualify for a nursing home, but people choose to want to stay at home. And the state of Tennessee wanted to give other options, but if we don't have the money or we don't have the other choices, then sometimes we move a little too fast on making decisions. So I think that's the reason why we kind of gathered up with the Pearl White Gala, which started back in 2005. Can you believe that?
No, this is seventh year for this fundraiser.
I know it's a big party, but tell us some of the things that we're looking to have at the gala.
Well, we're looking at this year to have at the gala we always try to bring entertainment. It is a fundraiser and we want people to come and support the cause, but we try to bring entertainment that also, that everybody can have a nice evening and enjoy themselves. So we're looking at having Ken Ford, who's an electric violinist. YouTube him if you haven't seen him. He's fabulous. And then also comedian Rodney Perry from the Monique Show.
Yeah, I saw him. He is hilarious. I'm looking forward to seeing him. And what about local entertainment?
Well, we really want this year to showcase local entertainment. We have a lot of great artists and bands that are doing stuff here locally, and we want to give them the platform to be able to come and show what they do, and also to show their support. Because again, the gala dollars and the fundraising dollars stay here locally, and so that's really important.
And one of the things that we've looked at, we did a little thing like Walmart. We rolled back the prices. So can you kind of share with the community what those prices will be?
For the actual ticket prices, you put me on the spot. Share what are the ticket prices?
It's $850 for corporate seating for a table of 10, and it's $60 for general admission. Even though they would have a seat, and it's going to be at the Chattanooga Convention in Trade Center, September the 8th. So we're looking forward to you all coming down and helping us do what we love to do, take care of those who wants to take care of you.
Thank you, Sharon.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in and being our guest today. Look forward to working with you, Christin.
We're excited again to do this for the 7th year.
We're going to do it this year.
Absolutely. Come support us, Chattanooga.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Caregivers and Community.